Adding an AI model to a new application is incredibly easy. A developer grabs an API key, writes a few lines of code, and just like that, their product instantly has intelligence. But that initial simplicity is deceptive. Within a few months, one connection turns into dozens. You have product features, support bots, coding agents, and internal scripts all firing off requests to different providers at the same time. The first consequence usually arrives in the form of an invoice. Companies receive massive monthly bills from external AI providers, with no clear way to trace which specific project or team generated the cost. The security risks are even harder to track. With everyone connecting directly to external models, there is no central mechanism to stop sensitive customer data or company secrets from leaking into an outbound prompt. Organizations have successfully given their teams access to AI, but in the process, they have lost the ability to manage it. Behest fixes this architecture by placing an operating layer directly between a company's internal tools and the external AI providers they rely on. Developers do not have to rebuild their applications or learn new frameworks. They use a simple command line launcher to point their existing API calls to this new front door. By intercepting the traffic, Behest takes a tangled web of invisible requests and organizes it into measurable infrastructure. Let's track a single AI prompt generated by a user to see exactly what happens when it is sent. Before that data reaches a provider like OpenAI or Anthropic, it hits the inference gateway, known as Behest Edge. The gateway attaches an identity to the anonymous text, determining exactly which user, project, and environment originated the request. With the source identified, the system runs through safety guardrails, scanning the payload for personal information, checking blocked models, and measuring weight limits. This screen shows the active rules engine. The gateway actively enforces these policies to rewrite prompts, throttle speed, or block non-compliant requests entirely, executing decisions in under 10 milliseconds. The organization enforces its compliance requirements internally before any data leaves the local network. Sometimes a prompt passes safety but requests a premium model but is already over budget or experiencing an unexpected outage. This interface displays per-tenant routing chains. If a primary choice fails or is too expensive, Behest automatically shifts the traffic to a more cost-effective or highly available alternative, keeping the application running without interruption. This feed shows live decisions recorded in the system ledger. Every request is logged with exact latency, microcost, and whether it was allowed, blocked, or rerouted. Administrators no longer wait weeks. They have an immediate, itemized receipt for every single interaction. The gateway routing turns raw AI usage into an accountable, economically optimized operation. Individual request logging solves the engineering problem, but leaders need a macro view of how AI is functioning across the entire company. This dashboard categorizes raw API traffic into distinct workloads. Instead of just looking at total volume, organizations can see exactly how much spend is driven by autonomous agents, tool use, or basic chat interfaces. This breakdown allows teams to slice their cost analytics further, mapping total spend, requests, and tokens to specific projects and individual AI providers. By organizing usage this way, engineering and finance share a common language to evaluate the actual return on investment, rather than just tracking raw token counts. That visibility is then used to enforce operational limits, catching anomalies long before they appear on an external invoice. This screen shows administrators allocating budgets for specific teams or projects with real-time warning states. These caps are physically wired to the gateway. When a limit is hit, the system automatically triggers enforcement actions, like falling back to cheaper models or blocking traffic entirely. This feed displays the automated alerting system. Whenever there is a massive spike in volume or a budget cap is exceeded, the platform routes a critical signal directly to the relevant project owner. Behest gives companies a true command center. It allows teams to experiment and build with AI, while the organization maintains strict authority over its data, infrastructure, and bottom line.